Okay, in this final video, we're going to connect our patches up to our muscle system that we already had on here. The reason this is going to be important is we're going to want these patches to not only follow along, we're going to want them to respect the sticky, the sliding, and the jiggle that's on this muscle system. Um, I'm going to show a script I was working on earlier. I should have this with everything else for you guys to use to help you out. On this, I have these named with muscle object. You're going to want to use some type of naming conventions for the actual muscles themselves. Also on any polybones that you might have, like I have here for an elbow that has some sliding and stuff painted over it. Um, what you'll want to do is you can just go ahead and hide your rig. We'll show our patches. And we're going to want to select any of our bones. And then we're going to want to grab all of our patches, shift select those, and we're going to apply a skin cluster to these. The reason I'm going to do it this way is so I can have these connected directly to the muscle system that's under it. I'm going to reselect those exactly the way I just did that. So we'll come to muscle, and I'm going to convert that skin cluster to a muscle system. And these are going to be automatically connected to our rig under there. We can go ahead and delete this out. We're going to run X down the axis like you should be doing with pretty much any muscle system. Typically it's advised to run X down the axis with that. You will have to press this for any patches that you have. One drawback, if you have a lot of patches, that you'll have to run through here and click this on each one of those. But like I said, this will go ahead and connect these patches up to our bones that are our rig that's governing our muscles and everything else, but they'll be on their own muscle system. So this way we will still actually be able to connect the muscles to them, connect them up as connecting muscle objects, which I'll show in just a moment. And we'll also be able to transfer our weights from our original mesh over to these new muscle systems here without any issues at all. We can go ahead and keep our rig hidden. We can select this guy here and show on the patches here. They each have their own muscle system. We're going to grab our base geometry that has our original muscle system that's going to be driving everything. Come up here to muscle, weighting. We're going to go to load saved weights. Let's go ahead and load in the node there. And we're going to want to decide what weights that we're doing. For this I'm going to do, or you would do 3. I would save out my sticky. Go ahead and do that now. We'll just say test sticky, just for example, and save that out, and see it gives me this path name here. I can just go ahead and save those weights, give me a progress bar. The script I'm working on right now, it's working on this path. I'll probably add a text field in and just have it query that, so you can just copy paste it there. Right now you can just paste this in right here. This would be sticky, sliding, then jiggle. Just right between these quotations after the file flag is what I would do there. I already have this set up with some weights and stuff saved out for it, so it's not needed for me to do at this moment. But after I would repeat that process like I just did for sticky. I would also do it for sliding and jiggle. For you would be any ones that you had there. And whenever you load these in, it's the same flags that I'm using in the script. You're going to want to do this by world position. Our point order has probably changed since we've divided this up into pieces. Our local position is probably different because we've frozen our transforms and such, but our world position is, these still match up for vert. You'll also, if you was loading this in by hand, you would want to decide what weight type it was. You would have to declare that, and then you would have to go through there and choose your weight, like test sticky for example, and then you would select those patches and then load those weights. The way that we will do this here though is we can hide our arm there, We can just grab all these guys, and whenever you run this, whenever I run the script, it's going to run it through there for all the patches. And instead of me having to go through there and for every single patch load in all three maps and load those weights, in addition to having to select all of the muscles and every single patch every single time and connecting those muscles, if you was doing that by hand, you would come up here to muscle objects, connect selected muscle objects, select the patch last that you're connecting them to. All of the muscle objects that I showed earlier, and then your patch last, and then connect selected muscle objects. What the script will do though is if I select all these just like I did earlier, because it'll all be in the same order, is I can just run this and it's going to set that up for all of them individually. It's going to ask you whenever you go to set that up, anytime you have multiple muscle objects selected and you go to connect them to one of those patches, whether you're running it from the script or by hand, for each one of those you're going to have to tell it how you want it to calculate the sticky distance from the center of that muscle. I usually do auto calculate and it seems to work just fine with no problems, which I'll go ahead and do now. You'll see a quick progress bar. It's going to go through there and it's going to figure out how many muscles are influencing each one of the vertices on each one of those patches. It's going to do it. It does take it a second to transfer all the information. It's going to do it for all three of our maps. Like this, for this example, I'm using 3 maps, and the only downside is that you do still have to click for it to auto calculate for each patch, but it does save you a ton of time as far as having to go in and actually load all these maps in. So that'll pretty much wrap up as far as connecting these to it. Once you have them all connected up, you'll have a fur system that is dynamically driven by the hair. The patches that all of that is being driven by is going to be driven by the muscle system, and all that's going to be following along. And I'll try and include a play blast with this so you guys can see it all in action with the all the final setup on it complete. Like I said, this final step here, when you're actually connecting all of these weight maps to this, it does take a minute just to go through here through all of the patches. But I hope I've covered everything, and I wish you luck in your projects and have fun rigging.